Imagine a young boy full of energy with a smile that lit up any room and a love for basketball so great that it seemed like he was born with a ball in his hands. That boy was Kobe Bryant. He was born on August 23, 1978, in Philadelphia, United States. Kobe had an unusual name, inspired by a Japanese meat called Kobe beef. But his destiny would be as unique as his name itself. From an early age, Kobe was fascinated by the sport. His father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was also a basketball player and, without realizing it, passed on to Kobe an unwavering love for the game. However, little Kobe's life would not be like that of other children his age. When he was just 6 years old, his family packed up and moved to a very different place: Italy. In Italy, while his father continued his basketball career, Kobe lived an adventurous childhood. Imagine an American boy learning to speak fluent Italian and playing soccer with his friends in the streets. Yes, before he fell completely in love with basketball, Kobe was also a huge soccer fan. He admired players like Diego Maradona and played as a forward on the small fields near his home. But even while he was enjoying soccer, basketball was always present. Kobe practiced tirelessly, practicing his shots on lonely courts and studying the game with a seriousness that was unusual for such a young boy. He already dreamed big. He told everyone that one day he would be one of the best basketball players in the world. And do you know what's even more amazing? Even at such a young age, he didn't just have a dream, he had a plan. Kobe already understood that in order to achieve greatness, he would have to work hard. He used to say that dreams don't work unless you work for them. It was as if he already knew that the path to glory would be paved with effort and dedication. The move to Italy didn't take him away from basketball, but rather made him even more passionate. He trained every day, even when his teammates preferred to play or rest. When he returned to the United States as a teenager, Kobe was already an exceptional player. He had learned a lot, not only about basketball but also about life. He had become a determined, confident young man ready to face any challenge. Now let me ask you, can you imagine what it's like to dream so big and believe in yourself so much from such a young age? If so, stay with me because Kobe Bryant's story is just beginning, and it will inspire you to never give up on your dreams. Returning to the United States, a young man ready to shine. After spending much of his childhood in Italy, Kobe Bryant returned to the United States at the age of 13. He was no longer just an ordinary kid. He spoke fluent Italian, was introduced to a new culture, and this international experience had shaped his mindset in unique ways. But one thing remained: his unwavering passion for basketball. When the Bryant family settled back in Philadelphia, Kobe began attending Lower Merion High School, and it was there that the world began to see the brilliance of his talent. At first, he was just the kid from Italy, and many of his teammates doubted that he could make it. After all, he was a rookie, skinny, and didn't have the physique that many other players had. But Kobe wasn't intimidated. He used doubts as motivation. In his first year on the team, results didn't come immediately. But Kobe was determined to change that. He spent extra hours in the gym practicing shooting, dribbling, and defense, even after his teammates had gone home. He studied videos of NBA greats like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, analyzing every move. Kobe wanted to be the best, and he knew that hard work was the only way to achieve that. Over the next few years, his efforts began to pay off. Kobe led Lower Merion to a state title, something the school hadn't accomplished in 53 years. He broke records, became the school's all-time leading scorer, and attracted the attention of scouts from around the country. At that point, Kobe was already a rising star. His name was making headlines, and fans were starting to pack the gyms just to watch him play. In addition to his undeniable talent, Kobe demonstrated a maturity that was rare for his age. He had confidence, focus, and an ambition that seemed to know no bounds. While many promising players dreamed of going to big universities to prepare for the NBA, Kobe had another plan. He decided he was ready to skip that step and go straight to the biggest stage in basketball. Kobe's decision was bold and risky. After all, entering the NBA at such a young age without college experience was something few players had done. But he had no doubts. He believed in his talent and his ability to compete against the best in the world. More than that, he was determined to show that hard work and dedication could overcome any challenge. The decision that changed everything, the step to greatness. In 1996, Kobe Bryant made a decision that would define the rest of his life. At just 17 years old, he decided to enter the NBA draft directly, bypassing college. a rare and very bold move at the time. This choice was a reflection of his unwavering confidence and his belief in hard work. He was ready to compete with the best in the world, and he wanted to get started as soon as possible. In the draft that year, Kobe was selected 13th overall by the Charlotte Hornets. But fate had other plans for him. Shortly after being selected, the Hornets traded him to the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most iconic teams in the NBA. At the time, it seemed like a normal behind-the-scenes move, but today it is seen as one of the most defining moments in the history of the league. It was as if the Lakers stage was waiting for him, as if this was the home where he would become a legend. Imagine being a 17-year-old kid, entering a league dominated by experienced adults, many of whom were already established. For Kobe, this was a dream come true but also a huge challenge. He was the youngest player in NBA history at the time, and the expectations were sky high. At first he struggled. He wasn't a starter and spent much of his time on the bench, which was frustrating for someone so competitive. But Kobe didn't give up. Instead, he took every opportunity to learn and improve. He trained like no one else. He spent hours in the gym even after everyone else had gone home. He watched video of his own games to spot mistakes and find ways to improve. He wanted to be more than just good, he wanted to be the best. Despite his modest beginnings, Kobe began to show flashes of his brilliance in his first year. He had speed, skill, and a confidence that commanded attention. He was also bold. He often took chances that other players wouldn't attempt. Some of these chances didn't work out, and he was criticized for being reckless. But Kobe knew that mistakes were the way to learn, and he wasn't afraid to make mistakes. A defining moment in his rookie season came in the 1997 All-Star Game dunk contest. Kobe, still a teenager, competed against older, more experienced players, and won. His performance in the contest not only showcased his athletic talent, but also revealed his personality. He was competitive, confident, and loved entertaining the crowd. So it wasn't all easy. At key moments like in the playoffs that year, Kobe faced challenges. In a game against the Utah Jazz, he missed several crucial shots, including 3 air balls when the ball doesn't even touch the rim. It was a tough moment and many young players might have been shaken by it. But not Kobe. He used that failure as motivation. The next day he was back in the gym, practicing those same shots until he was exhausted. He was determined to never fail like that again. The beginning of his NBA journey was a roller coaster of emotions. Moments of brilliance mixed with challenges and criticism. But what made Kobe stand out was his mindset. He wasn't afraid to face difficulties. On the contrary, he embraced them as opportunities to grow. For him, every obstacle was a stepping stone towards greatness. And so, the young Kobe Bryant began to show the world that he was not just a talented kid. He was a fierce competitor, a tireless worker, and above all, a future basketball icon. The trade to the Lakers was more than a coincidence. It was the beginning of a dynasty that would change his career and the history of the sport forever. The partnership with Shaquille O'Neal, the beginning of the dynasty. When Kobe Bryant arrived at the Los Angeles Lakers, the team was already known for its legacy. Players like Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had transformed the team into one of the greatest in NBA history. But in the second half of the 90s, the Lakers were searching for a new identity, something that would put them back on top. It was then that two forces of nature met: Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq was already an established star in the league, known for his immense strength, charisma, and skill. Kobe, on the other hand, was young, explosive, and full of ambition. The combination seemed perfect. Shaq would be the dominant pillar in the paint, and Kobe would bring the energy, creativity, and technique necessary to create an unstoppable team. At first, the partnership went through a period of adjustment. Shaq was the main star while Kobe was still gaining his place on the team. But Kobe was not the type to be overshadowed by anyone. He trained harder than any other player and wanted to be as important as Shaq. Little by little, he earned his place and showed that even at a young age he already had enough talent to change games. In 2000, everything started to fall into place. Under the command of legendary coach Phil Jackson, the Lakers finally found the formula for success. Phil, who had led Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls to 6 titles, brought his famous triangle offense strategy, which made the most of Kobe and Shaq's skills. And the results were spectacular. Between 2000 and 2002, the Lakers dominated the NBA. With Kobe and Shaq leading the team, they won 3 consecutive championships, something extremely rare in the history of basketball. In every game, the duo showed a unique chemistry. Shaq dominated near the basket, while Kobe excelled with impossible shots, uncanny dribbling, and an uncanny ability to decide games in the tightest of moments. But what made this partnership so fascinating was the contrast in their personalities. Shaq was outgoing, playful, and enjoyed being the center of attention. Kobe, on the other hand, was reserved, intense, and focused on being the best player he could be. These differences began to create tensions behind the scenes. While Shaq felt that Kobe was too serious, Kobe felt that Shaq didn't work as hard as he did. These frictions didn't stop the Lakers from continuing to win, but internal rivalries began to emerge. On the court, they were an unbeatable duo. Off the court, however, their conflicting personalities created conflicts that drew as much attention as their games. The media loved to exploit these tensions, but what no one could deny was the impact they had on the game together. The 2002 season was the high point of their partnership, with a third consecutive title cementing the Lakers as one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. However, tensions between Kobe and Shaq continued to grow. After a few years of increasingly evident friction, Shaquille O'Neal eventually left the Lakers in 2004. While the split marked the end of an era, Kobe and Shaq's years together left an unforgettable legacy. They were more than just a successful duo. They redefined what it meant to dominate the game. Shaq brought the brawn and Kobe brought the artistry, and together they wrote one of the most exciting chapters in NBA history. Despite their differences years later, both would recognize that together they created something unique. Shaq would say that Kobe was the most talented teammate he had ever played with, and Kobe would acknowledge that their internal battles made him an even better player. Their partnership was an emotional roller coaster, but most of all, it was a spectacle that no basketball fan will ever forget. And even apart, Kobe's brilliance was only beginning to intensify. He was ready to show the world that he could lead the Lakers on his own. But that's a story for the next chapter. The year of redemption, the 81-point mark. After Shaquille O'Neal left the Lakers in 2004, the spotlight turned completely to Kobe Bryant. He knew it was now his responsibility to lead the team, and that brought both opportunities and pressures. Many questioned whether Kobe could carry a team on his own, especially in an increasingly competitive NBA. But as always, Kobe was undeterred. He used the doubts as fuel to prove his worth. In the 2005 to 2006 season, Kobe was at the peak of his powers. He had speed, strength, intelligence, and above all, the Mamba Mentality, that fierce and determined mindset of always striving for excellence. But it was on January 22, 2006 that Kobe did something that made history and cemented his place among the greatest players of all time. That day, the Los Angeles Lakers faced the Toronto Raptors at the Staples Center. The game started relatively normally, but something about Kobe seemed different. He was confident, aggressive, and completely focused. Every time the ball left his hands, it seemed destined to find the basket. By the end of the first half, Kobe had scored 26 points, an impressive number, but nothing that suggested what was to come. However, in the third and fourth quarters, he reached an almost supernatural level. Kobe was unstoppable. He was hitting long-range shots, driving shots, free throws, and even contested plays. The crowd at Staples Center was ecstatic, and even the opposing players seemed mesmerized by the performance. By the time the game was over, Kobe had scored 81 points, the second highest single-game scoring total in NBA history, behind only Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points in 1962. It was a magical moment, a true sports spectacle that left everyone watching speechless. It was as if Kobe was playing on a different level, unattainable by anyone. But what made the feat even more impressive was the context. Kobe wasn't simply playing by the numbers. He was carrying his team, leading the Lakers to victory in a game they were trailing early. It was the ultimate proof that he was not only a talented player, but also a leader capable of doing the impossible. That night symbolized Kobe's redemption. After years of being criticized for not being able to carry the Lakers to the top on his own, he showed that he was more than capable of being the heart and soul of the team. The 81-point game wasn't just a personal best, it was a message to the basketball world. Kobe Bryant was a force of nature. After the game, reporters and fans alike tried to figure out how he had accomplished something so extraordinary. When asked about his performance, Kobe simply chalked it up to hard work. He said he trained for these moments, that his dedication to the sport prepared him to shine when it mattered most. It was the essence of the Mamba mentality in action. This feat not only solidified his legacy, but also inspired millions of people around the world. The 81-point game became a symbol of what is possible with focus, determination, and passion. It was more than just a basketball game. It was a masterpiece, created by one of the greatest artists the sport has ever seen. And this was just another page in the legendary story of Kobe Bryant. Life off the court. A devoted father. While Kobe Bryant was a giant on the court, off it he was simply Dad. His love for basketball was as great as his love for his family, especially his 4 daughters: Natalia, Gianna, Bianca, and Capri. For him, there was nothing more important than being a present and involved father. Kobe married Vanessa Lane in 2001. The couple met when she was still a teenager, during a music video in which Vanessa was a model. Since then they have built a close-knit family facing ups and downs, but always prioritizing love and respect. When his first daughter, Natalia, was born in 2003, Kobe was in the midst of a career boom. Despite his busy schedule, he made sure to be present for every important moment. He often said that being a father was one of the greatest privileges of his life. For Kobe, professional success could never compare to the joy of watching his daughters grow up. But it was with his second daughter, Gianna, that Kobe found a special connection in basketball. Gianna, affectionately known as Gigi, shared her father's intense passion for the sport. From an early age, she demonstrated talent and determination on the court, and Kobe loved coaching her. He saw in her not only a promising player, but also someone who could continue his basketball legacy. Kobe not only coached Gianna, but also watched WNBA games with her, analyzing plays and encouraging her growth. He often said that he believed in the future of women's basketball and that Gigi could be one of the biggest stars in the sport. In interviews, Kobe spoke proudly of how she dreamed of playing for the University of Connecticut and, who knows, one day in the WNBA. In addition to Gianna, Kobe was equally devoted to his other daughters. Bianca and Capri, the youngest, were his babies, and he made sure to enjoy every moment with them. Even after his retirement, he continued to be present in the family's daily life, taking the girls to school, playing with them, and being an exemplary husband and father. Retirement, in fact, was a time of transformation for Kobe. He embraced the role of full-time father with the same enthusiasm and dedication that he had for basketball. He has said in interviews that while he missed playing, nothing compared to the joy of being home with his family, helping with daily chores and watching his daughter's achievements. In addition to being a devoted father, Kobe was an example of how to use his platform to inspire others. He wrote children's books, created stories that encouraged values such as hard work, resilience, and creativity, and was always willing to support causes that promoted education and sports for young people. Kobe's relationship with his family was the foundation of his life. He believed that his true legacy was not only in the trophies and titles he won, but in the impact he had as a father, husband, and human being. He often said that when it was all over, he wanted to be remembered as someone who loved his family deeply and put them above all else. This dedication to family was something that the public admired as much as his performances on the court. Kobe Bryant was not only a basketball legend. He was a father who inspired with his example of love, care, and commitment. This connection to his family would become one of the most poignant aspects of his legacy, especially when he and Gianna passed away together, leaving behind a story of love, determination, and unity. The 2009 and 2010 championships, a rebirth as a leader. After years of facing ups and downs without Shaquille O'Neal by his side, Kobe Bryant was determined to prove he could lead the Los Angeles Lakers back to the top. He had faced criticism, painful defeats, and even injuries, but his mindset never wavered. He knew that hard work and perseverance would get him back to where he believed was rightfully his, the NBA throne. The Lakers' rebuild began in 2008 when the team brought in the talented Spaniard Pau Gasol. With Gasol by his side, Kobe finally found a teammate who understood his work ethic and shared his vision of greatness. The chemistry between the two was instant, and the Lakers quickly became a dominant force in the league again. Although the team made it to the finals in 2008, they suffered a bitter defeat to the Boston Celtics, one of their greatest historical rivals. For Kobe, that loss was personal. He didn't just want to win, he needed to. That disappointment motivated him to come back stronger the following year. In the 2008-2009 season, Kobe led the Lakers with relentless determination. Every game felt like a mission for him, and the team followed suit. When they reached the finals, they faced the Orlando Magic, led by Dwight Howard. Kobe played like a man possessed, determined to make sure this time it would be different. He was simply brilliant, leading the team in scoring, assists, and most of all, showing leadership in the decisive moments. The Lakers beat the Magic in 5 games, winning the NBA title. It was a moment of redemption for Kobe, who finally got to prove that he could lead a team to a championship without Shaquille O'Neal. He was named Finals MVP, and in his interviews he made it clear that that title had a special flavor. But Kobe wasn't satisfied. For him, winning once wasn't enough. He wanted more, and he wanted to face the best to prove his greatness. The following season, 2009 to 2010, he led the Lakers to another dominant campaign. This time, fate had an epic rematch in store. In the finals, they would once again face the Boston Celtics. The series was an intense battle, full of drama and rivalry. The Celtics were known for their physical defense and fierce mentality, but Kobe was ready. He played with relentless energy, even while dealing with pain and injuries that could have taken down any other player. Every possession felt personal to him, as if he was playing not only for the title, but also to reaffirm his legacy. The matchup went into Game 7, the perfect setting for a finals between two basketball giants. It was an ugly game, marked by suffocating defense and frayed nerves. Kobe didn't have his best defensive performance in that game, but his will to win made up for it. He grabbed 15 rebounds and scored crucial points, showing that he could impact the game in many ways. In the end, the Lakers won 83-79, and the Staples Center erupted in celebration. That title was special not only because it was Kobe's 5th, but because it was against the Lakers' biggest rival, and because he had overcome enormous challenges to get there. Kobe was once again named Finals MVP, and his post-game speech was a mix of joy and relief. He said, "This one is the sweetest one yet." The 2009 and 2010 titles cemented Kobe Bryant as one of the greatest players in NBA history. He had proven that his leadership, dedication, and skill could carry a team to the top. More than that, he showed that even in the face of adversity, the Mamba mentality could overcome any obstacle. These championships weren't just athletic victories. They were statements that hard work, resilience, and passion can lead anyone to greatness. Kobe didn't just lead the Lakers back to the top. He led millions of fans around the world to believe in their own dreams. The Mamba Mentality philosophy, Kobe Bryant's code of life. If there's one thing that defines the essence of Kobe Bryant, it's the Mamba Mentality. A concept that transcends basketball and has become a code of life. But what exactly does this phrase mean? For Kobe, it was the relentless pursuit of excellence, the absolute dedication to being better every day, and the mindset of never giving up no matter the challenges. The nickname Black Mamba came about in 2003, at a time when Kobe was going through an extremely difficult personal and professional period. He was under intense media pressure and facing a battle to rebuild his reputation. It was during this period that he decided to adopt the mentality of the Black Mamba, a snake known for its agility, precision, and lethality. To him, the Mamba symbolized focus and control, two traits that he would incorporate into his game and his life. The Mamba mentality was not just a slogan. It was the philosophy that guided his every action. In basketball, this meant training like no other. Kobe was famous for his brutal training routines. He would wake up at 4 a.m. to train before his teammates had even thought of getting out of bed. He would practice shooting in the dark, simulate plays with imaginary opponents, and review game tape until he understood every detail. He believed that hard work was the difference between good and great. But the Mamba mentality wasn't limited to basketball. It extended to every aspect of Kobe's life. He applied this philosophy to his business, his creative storytelling, and even his fatherhood. For Kobe, the Mamba mentality was about always evolving, never settling for what you've already achieved but always seeking out new challenges. He also wanted to inspire others to adopt this mindset. In interviews, speeches, and even his book, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play, Kobe shared lessons on how to face fears, overcome failures, and turn hardships into fuel for success. He said, "The Mamba mentality is simply about trying to be the best version of yourself. That's all it is. It's about reaching for something bigger." For fans, the Mamba mentality became a mantra. Millions of people around the world adopted this philosophy as inspiration for their own lives. Whether you were an athlete, a student, an entrepreneur, or an artist, Kobe believed that everyone could find their inner Mamba and use that mindset to overcome obstacles. There were defining moments in Kobe's career that exemplified the Mamba mentality. Whether he played with a broken finger, came back stronger after tearing his Achilles tendon, or scored 60 points in his final NBA game, he proved that true greatness comes from the ability to keep fighting, even when it seems impossible. The Mamba mentality didn't die with Kobe. If anything, it grew stronger. It lives on in all those he inspired and who continue to use his example as a source of strength and motivation. For Kobe, it wasn't just about winning at basketball. It was about winning in life and helping others do the same. Kobe Bryant left behind not just a legacy of athletic achievement, but a lesson that resonates beyond the court. With focus, hard work, and determination, we can all achieve greatness. That's the essence of the Mamba mentality. Injuries and decline, a battle against time. As legendary as he was, not even Kobe Bryant was immune to the physical limitations that come with the years and intensity of a career full of sacrifices. Throughout his career, he faced a series of injuries, each one presenting a new challenge in his pursuit of excellence. But true to his Mamba mentality, Kobe viewed each adversity as an opportunity to grow. Early in his career, Kobe seemed invincible. His youth, agility, and endurance kept him performing at a high level night after night. But as the years passed, the wear and tear of playing over 1,300 games, coupled with relentless training, began to take its toll. Injuries that other athletes would use as excuses to slow down for him were just another obstacle to overcome. The defining moment of this phase of his career came on April 12, 2013. During a game against the Golden State Warriors, Kobe suffered one of the most devastating injuries for any athlete: a ruptured Achilles tendon. For many players, this would be a career-ending sentence. But Kobe was not to many players. Despite the intense pain, he stayed on the court to shoot 2 free throws, ensuring his team had a chance to win. The scene of Kobe limping to the free throw line, his eyes focused and his determination unwavering, became a symbol of his resilience. After the game, he underwent surgery and began a long rehabilitation process. Many doubted that he would ever be the same player again, but Kobe was determined to defy the odds. During his recovery, he worked tirelessly. He knew that to get back to the top, he would have to overcome not only physical challenges but also mental ones. He faced frustrations, limitations, and pain that tested his patience and willpower. But true to his mindset, he never gave up. Kobe returned to the court in December 2013, but the return was not easy. The injury had taken its toll and he was no longer the same physically. He continued to fight, but new injuries began to crop up, including knee and shoulder problems. Despite everything, he never stopped trying. For him, every game was an opportunity to inspire his fans and show that greatness is not just about numbers, but also about fighting. In the final years of his career, Kobe knew that his body could no longer keep up with his brilliant mind. Yet he refused to accept a farewell without a fight. He continued to play with the same passion and dedication that defined him from the beginning, even when the results were not the same. He wanted to make it clear that his journey was about more than trophies. It was about the love of the game and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Those years of injuries and physical decline revealed an even more human side of Kobe Bryant. He showed the world that true strength lies not in avoiding falls, but in how we rise after each one. And even as his body betrayed him, his unwavering mindset and passion for basketball continued to inspire millions. This phase of his career set the stage for an epic finale that would be a celebration not only of his achievements, but of his ability to fight until the very last second. Kobe was not just a player who overcame challenges. He was the living example of how to face them with courage, grace, and determination. And that is what made him an immortal legend. The grand finale, the farewell of an icon. On April 13, 2016, the basketball world stood still to witness the end of an era. After 20 seasons playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe Bryant was about to play his final game in the NBA. The venue was the Staples Center, his home for his entire career, and the atmosphere was electric. It was time to say goodbye to the Black Mamba and celebrate the career of one of the greatest players of all time. Since announcing his retirement, every game that season had been a farewell tour of sorts. Fans around the world packed the stadiums, eager to see Kobe play one last time. Tributes poured in at every arena he played with applause, emotional messages and even tears of farewell. Kobe accepted this affection with gratitude, but also with a clear focus. He wanted his last game to be special. And special it was. The Staples Center was packed with tickets selling for astronomical prices. Celebrities, former teammates and fans of all ages gathered to watch Kobe Bryant's farewell. Before the game, he addressed the crowd, thanking them for all their support over the years. His words were full of emotion, but there was a sparkle in his eyes. He still had one last show to give. As the game began, Kobe seemed determined to show that he still had magic left in him. The opponent that night was the Utah Jazz, but all eyes were on Kobe. Every time he touched the ball, the gym erupted in cheers of encouragement. And then the impossible happened. At 37 years old, after years of injuries and with his body already worn out, Kobe delivered one of the most memorable performances of his career. He scored 60 points that night, an impressive score for any player, let alone one in his farewell game. Kobe seemed to be in a state of grace, hitting long-range shots, dribbling defenders with ease and finishing with the precision that has always characterized him. With each basket, the crowd cheered as if they were watching a fairy tale. In the final moments of the game, with the Lakers needing points, Kobe took control. He scored decisive baskets that secured the team's victory, an ending worthy of his legend. When the clock ran down, the Staples Center erupted in celebration, and players from both teams ran to embrace him. It was a moment of pure emotion, a celebration of Kobe's greatness and the impact he had on the sport. After the game, Kobe took the microphone to address the crowd for the final time. In a heartfelt and emotional speech, he thanked the fans, the city of Los Angeles and his family. Then, with a smile on his face, he ended with a phrase that would become iconic. Mamba out. That final game was not just a sporting event. It was a spectacle, a masterpiece that encapsulated everything Kobe represented. Talent, dedication, resilience, and passion. He left the court for the last time a hero, to a standing ovation from everyone in attendance, as millions of fans around the world felt the farewell. The grand finale was more than a farewell. It was a reminder of why Kobe Bryant was so special, not just as a player, but as a symbol of excellence and determination. He didn't just end his career. He did it in style, leaving everyone with one final lesson. Never underestimate the heart of someone who lives to be the best. The new journey, reinvention off the court. After saying goodbye to the court in style, Kobe Bryant began a new phase in his life. While many retired players choose careers related to basketball, such as commentators or coaches, Kobe decided to explore other passions. He wanted to prove that his creativity and determination went beyond the sport. Kobe founded Granity Studios, his own content production company, where he began telling stories that inspired and educated. In 2018, he made history when he won an Oscar for the animated short film Dear Basketball. The film, based on a letter he wrote when announcing his retirement, was an ode to the love of the sport and the power of dreams. This achievement was further proof that Kobe was never content with what he had already achieved. He always sought more. In addition, he wrote children's books and sports fantasy series for young readers. With these stories, Kobe wanted to inspire children to work hard, dream big and never give up, no matter what obstacles they faced. Kobe also dedicated himself to his sports academy, the Mamba Sports Academy, where he trained young athletes, including his daughter Gianna, to develop their skills. He believed in the potential of future generations, especially the growth of women's basketball, and he did everything he could to support these initiatives. His new journey was guided by the desire to leave a lasting impact off the court, and he was just getting started. On January 26, 2020, a tragedy shook the world. Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others lost their lives in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Kobe and Gianna were on their way to a basketball game where he was coaching his daughter's team. The shock of the news sent fans, athletes, and celebrities around the world into mourning. Tributes began pouring in immediately. Courts, buildings, and statues were decorated with the number 24 and Kobe's name. The phrase, Mamba forever, became a symbol of his immortality in everyone's hearts. In the NBA, players wore his jerseys to honor him, while moments of silence were held before countless games. The loss of Kobe and Gianna was devastating, but it also brought together millions of people who found solace in remembering the impact he had on their lives. He was not just a player, He was an example of resilience, love for family and dedication to what he did. The immortal legacy. The inspiration that lives forever. Although Kobe Bryant was gone too soon, his legacy lives on in every shot, every practice and every dream inspired by his story. He was not only one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but a symbol of how determination, passion and hard work can transform lives. His philosophy of the Mamba Mentality continues to inspire athletes, entrepreneurs, artists and everyday people around the world. Kobe taught us that we should never settle and that true success comes from chasing our dreams with everything we have. Future generations will continue to hear stories about the boy who started out playing basketball on an empty court in Italy and became an immortal legend in the United States. His impact transcends the game. It is present in those who strive for excellence no matter the field. Kobe Bryant's story is a life lesson about resilience, passion and legacy. If you were inspired by this incredible journey, leave a comment below with what moment in Kobe's career impacted you the most. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories like this. Share this video with your friends and family. Together we can keep Kobe's spirit alive and inspire even more people around the world. Mamba forever.